The clock is ticking and thousands of supporters are tense. The highlight of the Grand National Tour was meant to be Kendrick Lamar and SZA's historic performance in Glasgow, an occasion of a lifetime, a celebration of R&B and hip-hop. The center of Scotland, the most influential voices are on one stage. Now, though, it's becoming a nightmare. Just 48 hours before the event, Glasgow was struck with major travel advisories due to unexpected train strikes, canceled flights, and emergency road closures. And there is a complete panic among fans from all over Europe, some of whom have flown in early, saved for months, or organized group gatherings. Live updates abound on tiktok.edd. It posts headlined as Kendrick's Glasgow show, Cursed, are receiving thousands of comments every hour, while Instagram direct messages are overflowing with requests for refunds. Even worse, neither Shire Kendrick has a word. However, insiders claim that they are not canceling. Thus, the performance will continue on, but will the supporters attend? What comes next might either make this night a legend or leave thousands stranded while history is made without them. So pay close attention. Fans have been counting down for 4 months. Each performance on the Kendrick Lamar and SZA Grand National Tour has been larger, louder, and more intensely emotional than the last, whether in London, Paris, or Berlin. But even before the first ticket was released, people were talking about one city and one stop, Glasgow. Why Glasgow? Because insiders referred to it as the secret finale from the start, meaning that everything would come full circle, not the final program on the schedule. On the European leg, it was the only non-arena on festival, a unique arrangement that Kendrick himself selected. Reportedly inspired by a private lyric SZA once wrote about performing beneath the aquatic skies. The venue is a converted outdoor amphitheater by the River Clyde. The energy is dashed once in a lifetime. Additionally, the show sold out in less than 4 minutes after it was announced. More than 38,000 seats have been taken. Outside the ticket offices, many napped. Ticketmaster's were crashed by fans. This is the new Coachella. Kendrick and SZA under the Scottish sky. Ah, this is art. Twitter went wild with the statement. If you got a Glasgow tick, you're part of history now. Other celebs were attempting to attend as well. I might fly in just to watch this show. It feels like a damn prophecy. Tyler, the creator, wrote in a fan post that Adele remarked on, envious. It will be a spiritual one. The rumors started after Travis Scott liked a mysterious tweet that said, Kendrick Shaw, Scotland. The earth might crack open. Rumors circulated that SZA and Kendrick had practiced a hitherto unheard collaboration song only for Glasgow. Rumors circulated that a short film was being filmed live as the presentation was being directed by Dave Free. Fans noted that in the days prior, both musicians had included subliminal Celtic symbols in their Instagram posts. There was no concert here. It was a mysterious cultural event. However, it wasn't just the music that generated the hype. It has to do with the present. Kendrick and shared a whole setlister the first time in more than 10 years. Graphics, verses, and interludes into a seamless whole. No visitor, not unexpected cameos, but spots. An immersive, co-headlined, completely integrated production that was being viewed as a kind of artistic fusion. For many Glaswegians thought it was going to be their moment. One fan remarked, it's like watching two galaxies collide. You don't just show up, you align. Some fans traveled more than 4,000 kilometers just to be there, with flights booked from Spain, Italy, Sweden, Dubai, and even Australia. Months in advance, hotels were completely booked. Scalpers were reselling. Tickets for standing room only cost £3,000. However, commotion started as soon as the excitement peaked. It was minor at first. Within 48 hours of the event, rumors of aircraft pilots going on strike. The story was covered by several UK news publications. The night of the performance was part of a 2-day strike that was approved by train drivers throughout Scotland. Due to staffing concerns, 3 airlines halted flights into and out of Glasgow Airport. Social unrest and shortages at Heathrow... A neighboring chemical accident had forced the closure of 2 bridges that led into the city. This show seemed to be blocked by the universe itself. Fans became alarmed. "I've been looking forward to this show my entire life, and now my flight has been cancelled. I have a hotel and a ticket, but I don't know how to get there. Could someone please come get me from Edinburgh? I'll pay anything." Threads on Reddit were becoming emergency boards. Instagram stories turned into a never-ending call for bike rentals, ride-sharing, and carpooling. Fans began trending anew. #hash. However, neither C nor Kendrick posted a single word while everyone held their breath. Not on TDE's official pages, not on Instagram, and not on Twitter. Insiders started murmuring, but the quiet was deafening. No matter what, they aren't not canceling. Additionally, that made matters worse because the pressure is now intolerable. The performance is taking place. The artists are dedicated. Will the fans show up at the venue, which is ready? The situation worsened as showtime approached. 80% of the city's transit options were either full, delayed, or canceled by Thursday night, only 36 hours before Kendrick and his series scheduled to perform. Social media was ablaze. TikTok chorus sadcast live from crowded train stations. While hauling bags through the post featured a weeping fan outside a locked Glasgow train office with the soundbite, Now. I'm ODing Kendrick tickets." While another Berlin girl posted a 30-second video of herself at the airport. The captions read, "This is supposed to be my healing era, but I might be watching the show from a bus bench. Flight cancelled, Ed, €500 gone. Kendrick, please beam," the caption said. "Get me up. Let's check." At this point, Kendrick was in the 3rd position globally. In less than 12 hours, more than 400,000 tweets were sent. When fans pleaded with Live Nation for updates, there was no reprieve, no postponement, and no cancellation. Then there were rumors. Insiders sent forth mysterious tweets. Kendrick's group isn't going to back down. Even with only 300 people standing in mud, the River Clyde spectacle will continue. They are transforming this into a demonstration and a show. Whispering began. What if the turmoil is what Kendrick wants? Sean's enigmatic sigh, Elvin. At last, some action from the performers. The silence was broken by SZA. She started by uploading just one video to her Instagram story. A handheld view of the Clyde River, with the sky gloomy and the water rough. "If you can find me, you deserve to be here," she whispered off camera, with a single shining stage light in the background. The internet went crazy, bro. Does she now? Publish riddles. "I have the impression that I'm in a Kendrick visual album. I no longer even give a damn. I'm going barefoot to Glasgow, the one who gave it." Next at 4 p.m., some fortunate fans who arrived early at the venue began to receive enigmatic brown boxes at their lodgings. The return address for each was marked P.G. Lang. The contents included a GPS tracker, a disposable camera, and a handwritten note signed by K&S that said, "This isn't just for the ones who showed up. It's for the ones who made it through. Don't miss your light." It became evident at that point that this concert was never merely an act. It was a declaration, a tempest, a call to endure something remarkable. It was unlike anything the River Clyde had ever seen. Thousands of people were left stranded. The few who did make it to Glasgow, however, were already lined up. Blanketed, soaked in rain, and carrying tickets like holy books. Some arrived in celebrity carpools, while others had walked miles. To get to the outer gate, one girl even uploaded a TikTok cowing herself paddling across a flooded track. It's no longer a concert. It's a natural progression. However, a significant event occurred behind the scenes while spectators waited in the storm. The steadiest leg, 7:47 p.m., a document called GNX Glasgow. The set began making the rounds on Reddit. Two-part, interwoven Kendrick and SZA formats. That was divided into waves was described in what looked to be a confidential rehearsal schedule that was sent to the production team. Kendrick enters through the audience rather than the stage after Shagan's Wave Eye, the displacement with a melancholic acoustic performance of Special. He gives a spoken word performance. Run is the title of the introduction. Mother, I, Sober. Kendrick, 20-something, SZA, All the Stars duet. And Nobody Gets Me, X Feel Mashup Wave 2 are the next tracks that are played. The Reckoning. There were 2 unreleased tunes in this part, which was indicated in red ink. KL plus SZA, which was simply identified as Ghosts of the Empire, was reported to have real-time audience footage, fan dims, and protest footage displayed on the stage. The event is subsequently interrupted by a segment titled Live Interlude, in which Kendrick writes a message to the apps for those who were unable to attend. Projection, user-generated videos, missed trains, and airport signs. He incorporated missing fans into the show, bro. The unforeseen grist began to make connections. The unexpected had always been Kendrick's forte. He never followed the rules, from the Heart Part 5 to DAM's Reverse Story. However, was empathy on a whole new level. Those that were not present were included in this show. Celebration of the trip rather than the final destination. Additionally, SZA, the huge revelation came when she reposted a fan TikToketh the remark. They tried to stop y'all, but we see you. All of you, it could have been intentional travel pandemonium. Things were gloomy at that point. 9:15 p.m. a screenshot was supplied to the Shadow Room by a whistleblower, claiming to be employed in UK civil logistics, UK.ag. It displayed a private exchange between 2 transit officials. One message was read, "If we can't control the event, we at least control the access." The response was strike warnings posted. Delay notices filed, no one canceling, but let's keep this contained. Wait, hold on. Were the travel issues coordinated? Twitter split in 2 almost immediately. One side said that this was real and that they attempted to suppress the show because it was anti-establishment, while the other side said that it was fake outrage, weather, and unions. Then, according to a leaked internal email at a private public relations firm, there was another message. The Kendrick SZA show has the potential to incite mass gatherings. With ongoing labor disputes and high profile, foreign attendees, the optics are risky. We recommend discouragement tactics. The phrase discouragement tactics caught on quickly and the story changed. This is performance activism in real time against the system, and a listaster attempted to stop it. Then came the celebrity shocker. Kendrick knew that the show was designed for those who couldn't attend because it was providing surveillance and control. The SCAS message about deserving to find her was code. Insiders began speculating that Drake, who has had a difficult year with Kendrick, had already been subtly pressuring promoters to deprioritize his rival's events abroad. No evidence, no proof. A memo leaked by a podcast editor claimed to have overheard an A-list rapper speaking to a European venue executive. The voice is muffled but recognizable. And the message is clear. If you let Kendrick pull this off, he becomes more than a rapper. The timeline collapsed when the voice note was dropped. This man lost a rap beef and is now pulling strings backstage. Jealousy doesn't look good on Champagne Papi. Drake attempted to stop the Glasgow show, was confirmed by blogs. Did Drake try to sabotage? Rumors are circulating. Is the rap beef still going strong behind the scenes? Just hours before the Glasgow show was scheduled to start, Geelong shared a single image on Instagram, a pair of scuffed trainers sitting on a train track. Geelong captioned the photo, "Some walk, some crawl." Drake versus the culture again. Kendrick answers in cooed just when people thought it couldn't go deeper. Kendrick broke his silence almost at midnight. Everyone reaches. It was sufficient, but nothing more. Fans who made it sobbed, while those who were unable to felt included. And it confirmed one thing for everyone watching: Kendrick and Sharant just performing. They were fighting a silent war against every gate and system barrier that separated artists from audience. On the morning of the show, Glasgow appeared to be a music festival that had collided with a protest march, with fans arriving on foot. After abandoned trains and groups riding bicycles through the streets with hand-painted signs that said, "Kendrick woke us up." The purpose was the journey. Do you understand UKN? A new phrase that would define the event surfaced on social media. This isn't a show, this is a movement. Fan rage and glory #Latuzi Kendrick trended once more, but this time not out of fear but out of pride. People started sharing stories about the lengths they had to travel to get to the venue, including a mother and daughter from Lisbon, Portugal, who had to endure 27 hours of buses and trains. A couple from Denmark posted a video of their entire journey on TikTok, documenting 72 hours of failed trains, rerouted flights, hitchhiking, and sleeping at bus stops. The final clip shows them wrapped in blankets at the venue entrance, crying as Kendrick's soundcheck echoed in the background. College students from Ireland took a cargo ferry. One man literally ran 14 miles from a neighboring city after his Uber was canceled mid-trip. Every mile was worth it. He saw us. 10 million views in 6 hours. Thousands of duets. Massive emotional wave. In the US, hip-hop media couldn't keep up. "This isn't just a concert," said a bro in an emergency broadcast with Hot 97. "In real time, it is a revolution." Celebrity responses. Janelle Monáe tweeted, "Art that breaks barriers." The celebrities and poor I were watching, and they were impacted. Art that demands it all. SZA and Kendrick simply changed the rules. The Week tweeted just Glasgow. Then came the unexpected endorsement. Doy Cat shared the caption, "Some people perform, some people build worlds." The Queen of Silent, Rihanna, shared an old picture of herself and Kendrick with the caption, "Still the realest." You reminded them of what's important, and the world appeared. The fans went crazy. You know something is sacred when our cousins. Rihanna hasn't spoken about music in 2 years, and now she's talking about the backstage and shaky music business. Promoters and labels were rushing. According to sources, executives at AEG and Live Nation called emergency meetings in response to the outrage from leaked correspondence that implied attempts to censor the concert. Pitchfork was informed by an unnamed insider that they weren't prepared for this degree of publicity. They believed they could keep travel local and subtly discourage it. They caused a cultural awakening instead. Industry experts are already predicting that this will alter the format of live events. Early rumors suggest that performers will start creating shows that are durable enough to withstand disruptions and engage followers outside of the actual audience. According to a TDE subsidiary, Glasgow was the blueprint. This is where the next generation of concerts begins. The story was picked up by non-musical outlets as well as by international media outlets. The Glasgow concert that refused to die made headlines on the BBC, Vice, The Guardian, and even CNN International. Thousands of people traveled across a malfunctioning system for a single night of art footage showing supporters entering barefoot, fans waving pitch-along banners, and masses shouting outside the gates for the people still arriving. This is how Kendrick and SZA transformed a concert into a platform for cultural resistance. It had the appearance of a pilgrimage. It was a journey. Then, as the media rushed to change the story, Waga's followers flocked to the venue. Was one last surprising headline? The large last-minute inflow prompted Glasgow police to issue a crowd density warning. Concerned that the venue might not be able to accommodate the influx of people, local authorities started to post advisories. Is it possible to halt the show before it starts? The sky cleared as night descended across the Clyde River. Wind, rain, sirens as the fans continued to show up. Nobody was going anywhere. Nobody was giving up. The space is bursting with people. It broke the official capacity. People were hanging onto fences and pushing themselves against barricades that stood on hillsides. The last twist was then revealed. Authorities are thinking of reducing or stopping tonight's performance due to persistent safety concerns, according to a breaking BBC notice. Chaos, cries, and gasps. Security started to barricade certain entrances. Volunteers urged spectators to remain composed, and there was a lot of tension backstage. According to insiders, Kendrick watched footage of fans traveling from all around Europe in total silence. SZA was informed that they might shut it off while she was warming up vocally. Then we sing until they pull the plug. The light goes out. She responded, closing her eyes at 8:57 p.m., 3 minutes prior to the start of the show. The lights went down. The stage darkened. Supporters let up a yell, not in joy, but in terror. Is it taking place? Was there a cancellation of the show? Then, out of the shadows, a lone spotlight emerged in the audience, not on the stage or the screens. A microphone dropped. Nobody was aware of what was happening. Then a fan? In the front row, an ordinary girl started to sing. Barrymore, Essie Drew. She sang one stanza, followed by another, then the audience as a whole, her voice unsteady, raw, and emotive. More than 30,000 people. No beat, no music. Only the sound of voices in the rain. From the rear of the crowd, Kendrick emerged, eyes forward, hood up. He took center stage and gazed at the girl who snotted once and began it all. He then took the microphone. Kendrick's night-breaking freestyle didn't begin with a hit. He did not begin with all right or humble. Off the dome, he performed a raw freestyle. I have seen rulers with platinum plaques collapse. I have witnessed queens emerge from mud. I have witnessed fans creating highways where none existed. And before the first song started tonight, I witnessed history. The crowd blew up. Cameras were unable to record it. Rain caused the screens to get foggy. It didn't matter though. Was no longer about the pictures. Has to do with the present. Together, Kendrick and SZA entered the stage. No fireworks, no, just the dancers.